Hello friends, how are you? This is Dr. Sri Nagi, Ayurveda and Medicine Doctor and also Isha Hatha Yoga teacher. So today in this video we are going to talk about 5 types of kapha, or you can say 5 sub doshas of kapha which are included under when we say kapha dosha. Subtype of kapha dosha which we are going to discuss, that is called kledak kapha. That is also a Sanskrit word, kledak, and it is located in the upper part of your stomach. You can also understand it. For example, your stomach, we all know our stomach has mucosal lining inside the stomach, and in our stomach there is a place of hydrochloric acid which is also responsible for acidity if it is imbalanced. So, this kledak kapha, that is responsible for secreting various digestive juices, various kind of enzymes to balance this hydrochloric acid of your stomach. So, whenever somebody eats a lot of oily food, or whenever somebody eats a lot of junk food or lot of acidic drinks, and that also includes alcohol, so sometimes they feel a lot of acidity. Why? Because there is excessive hydrochloric acid being produced in the stomach. So at that time this kledak kapha act as a balancing agent in the stomach and protect the stomach from this acid, so that a person don't get develop ulcers or any kind of acidity problems. So whenever this kledak kapha get imbalanced, then means either, for example, it becomes excessive. For example, kledak kapha becomes excess, then what it does, it slows down your digestion and your digestive fire, and ultimately your food will not get digested properly, and ultimately it will lead to the production of various kind of toxins or ama, which slowly with time slowly it got deposited in various parts of your body, and ultimately that will invite various unnecessary chronic ailments. And also this happens when it becomes less. For some reasons, this imbalance means either it will become more or it will become less. For some reasons, if it become less, then what happens? Then means it is not able to balance your hydrochloric acid that is produced in the stomach. It's a natural process that is there in our stomach, and then it will leads to acidity problems and various kind of disturb, because then digestive fire will become excess and ultimately it will lead to acidity. This is not the only one reason for acidity. There are many other reasons that are involved. Definitely if you need to diagnose your acidity, you definitely need to consult a Ayurveda doctor or allopathy doctor if you want to know or go. But it is just the physiology I am trying to explain, so that you have little idea like what is the science behind why we focus on eating fruits, why we focus on eating a lot of fresh cooked food, why we are against eating a lot of junk and packed foods, because they are disturbing this kledak kapha, which is not good for your health. Next kind of kapha dosha, the subtype of kapha, that's the 5th type of kapha or subtype of kapha, that is called Shleshmak kapha. Shleshmak kapha is also a Sanskrit name, and Shleshmak means it's a sticky part which is it acts as a lubricant in various joints of your body. Let's understand, like in our knee joint we have synovial fluid. Synovial fluid represents this Shleshmak kapha, and various kind of joints in our body we have, like two bones, whenever they come together each other, whenever they are joined to each other. So it is not only the joint which is responsible for movement of the body, they are also associated tendons, ligaments, and many times this fluid is also present which is help in lubrication and help the free movement of our joints. So this is called Shleshmak kapha. This is responsible for the function of all the joints that are present in our body. So this Shleshmak kapha is not only present in your knees or in your big joints, but also in your small joints. According to Ayurveda, if this Shleshma Kapha or this lubrication in the joints will not be present, then what will happen? For example, if two bones are just moving like this, slowly they will, if there is no oil or no lubrication between these joints, they will tear apart or there will be damage that happen to the bones. But our nature has created our body in such a way that it provides natural lubrication that is provided by this Shleshma Kapha. Our Ayurveda physicians, they have divided, like ancient, not today's Ayurveda physicians, the old age saints and sages who were enlightened beings. So they have described Ayurveda like how and various kind of terminology they have used, so that normal people are able to understand like how our body is functioning and how the things are happening, because that time there were no ultrasounds when this Ayurveda has been written. No ultrasounds, no various kind of MRIs, no various big machines which can see through body functions. That time people just know, people have said Ayurveda as a science when they go into various levels of higher consciousness, and from there they got the drop of this Ayurveda, and that's how they put it into words. And that's why all the literature of Ayurveda, it's all in Sanskrit. So it's all in the form of shlokas that are also called poetic form, and everything is in the Sanskrit. As we know, the importance of Sanskrit is the sound of universe, and it was always there in the universe. It is not invented by someone. Nobody has created Sanskrit, so it is just a discovered language. Whenever there is some kind of disturbance in this Shleshma Kapha, it leads to inflammation of various joints or various joint related diseases. It is not only this Shleshma Kapha that will be responsible for this joint problem. There are many other factors also attached to it, but this is also one of the thing. When it will be disturbed, it will lead to some kind of inflammation of joint or some kind of pain in joint. For example, we can understand it in this way. When this Shleshma Kapha get increased, there is excessive accumulation of fluid in our joint, and joint will become this big. And whenever this there is imbalance, means decrease in this Shleshma Kapha, so various kind of knee problems develop, like whenever you're sitting, standing, some kind of crepitus or some kind of sound that start coming out of joints. And especially it happens in old age, because in old age the level of this Shleshma Kapha goes very down, and that's why very often, like age, which we also call aging, and age related degeneration start. So this happens because of imbalance of Shleshma Kapha. So all these points which I have mentioned regarding Ayurveda and regarding this 5 types of kapha, it's very important to know these points, but all at the same time I also would like to recommend, like, don't go for self-medication, because it is not only these 5 factors are involved in some disease, there are many other factors associated with it. As Ayurveda doctor, I can tell you digestive fire is involved, your lifestyle is involved, your family history is involved, genetic composition is involved, what is the emotional and mind patterns you have, that is involved, what kind of region you belong to, that is responsible, what kind of history of present illness is there, that is involved, past illness that is involved, what kind of medicines you have taken, that is involved. So it is like I always recommend and request people, never ever go for self medication, always consult doctor first, and then take medicines or treatment or your lifestyle advice accordingly, because we think by little learning we think, okay, we know things, but it is not true. There is much more before prescribing any kind of medicine to anyone. The things that we are speaking on this YouTube or through this is just for awareness for the people, like this is how things are there in Ayurveda, so that to understand things in Ayurveda. But it is not like just by knowing these small things we can start treating other people. It's not like that. You need to have proper qualification to treat someone or proper medical degree to treat someone before saying any kind of medicine for anyone. So these are the general indications, general things which I think everybody should know, so that they can focus on their lifestyle, they can focus on their eating habits, they can focus on the prevention of diseases, and they can also focus on how important is to stay loving and in pleasant state of mind, because how it impacts our body. So if we are trying to adopt Ayurveda in our life, it will help us in these things. So that's the main purpose for making people more aware of Ayurveda, so that they try to shift into more healthy lifestyle, and they will become free from diseases and focus on more preventive aspect of diseases, so that nobody in the world should suffer from any kind of chronic ailment. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions regarding Ayurveda, Kapha body type or anything, you please write to us. We will try to answer your questions in the best possible way. So stay healthy, stay blessed, take care.